everyone, welcome. Please rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for coming. Is there any additions to the agenda?
Yes, we need to ask David to put salt in the sand that's up the top of the hill because it's frozen solid and people can't get it out.
Put salt in it?
Into the sand, makes it,
There's something that he does that besides put the salt up in there.
whatever it is, it's a solid block of
Yeah.
ice right now, so.
You're David's liaison? I don't think we have to put that on the
Okay.
agenda. You could
Okay,
probably
I'll
speak to
just-
him.
I will call him.
Because he knows what he does. It's something that he does.
Yeah.
I'll be 50 tomorrow, so.
Yeah, he'll thaw out tomorrow. I do have one now. I know we talked about the key for that door to be left right here because we got locked out one time when Katrina wasn't coming, and it was a Saturday, and we needed them paper, and we don't have a key to that. So, should we add it to the agenda or just have me tell Kevin to get one?
And just have.
Tell Kevin to get one.
Okay, all right. The only thing I have for chair's remarks is our condolences to the family of Mr. Fenning. Longtime resident of Vernon, very well, teacher, driver's ed. Anyway, our condolences to the family. Also, I want to thank Munson Hicks, Steve Skibnowski, and Jeff Dunkley for at different times, they stepped up, and helped us. This is our last meeting, and I want to tell you that I personally, and I'm sure the full board appreciates your help. And I wish you had run, because you're a good selectman.
Thank you.
And thank you. All right, after that, open comments. Anybody have anything that's not on the agenda? Wow, what happened to all my people? I used to just bring
You
up
want me to
stuff.
get up and say something?
Say something.
For the record. I'm
Hi.
saying something, hi. I might as well, I've announced it before, the candidates forum is this coming Wednesday night, and I'm hoping that we won't have a snow day necessary, because I haven't arranged for one. It's at 6:30 in the school, and I need to let Kevin know, because I had her reserved here just in case, but.
Could I ask you something about that?
Yes,
Could
no.
possibly I meet with you, being that I'm the moderator? I didn't
Yes.
like the way it was set up last year, or the
Yeah.
last time I was moderator.
Let's
last
work
year,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm more than happy to. What are you doing tomorrow?
Well, I'm open late in the afternoon.
Okay.
Um,
Or
Shall I
Wednesday.
call you, or
Yeah.
you call me, or stop at the house or something?
I'm not gonna be going anywhere, I'll be home all day.
Okay, yeah,
Let me
because
know.
I didn't like that I couldn't see their faces or, talk to them directly. And
Yeah.
I couldn't see their hands raised or anything like that. It was just an odd.
Yeah, let's work on it. Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, recycling committee? And Triple T?
Bring some chairs up.
Do you want to come up now, or do you want to wait? You can bring chairs up.
Here,
Okay.
take some chairs.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome. Thank you. You guys done an awfully lot of work, appreciate it.
So, I'm the vice chairman and Heather is on vacation. Unfortunately, I missed the last recycling meeting where Triple T came with all of the new proposals and numbers and options, because I was sick. So I don't really feel prepared to offer recommendations at this time. I'd like the whole committee to meet, together again before we're really set to do that, so we can all talk face to face. I don't really wanna just jump ahead and do it too quickly.
I thought Bob Spencer was going to come tonight.
He called me around 5 o'clock and said he wasn't coming. So, we have a lot of numbers, a lot of options. Were you looking, because the last time I came to the select board meeting, I didn't think we were expected back until March, I think it was the 21st or something.
Well, that's what I thought too.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know even how I heard that we were coming back tonight. So I don't know if you were looking to bring something to town meeting, if that's why it was coming so fast?
No,
or-
I believe Heather notified us that,
Oh, okay, 'cause
to be put on the agenda for tonight.
okay.
I did.
That was you? Well, see that?
See, it's all, I feel so disconnected because I didn't make the meeting. Heather did, but Heather's gone and I'm here, but I wasn't, so I don't really feel like I'm ready to go forward until we all meet again and go over the numbers together as a group. Because there's a lot to look over and talk about. And I think that you all got, what Emily prepared, all the different numbers and options.
Does Triple T have that as well?
The spreadsheets, yeah.
Yeah, I think Bob's on too.
Okay, so you weren't looking anxiously about getting something to go before the whole,
I was just notified that, that the recycling committee and, Triple T wanted to be put on the agenda, is why
Okay.
I put you on the agenda.
okay, so we do have some options and numbers that we're looking at, but I myself would like a little more time to, discuss those further. If each board member wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask, I'm trying to get feedback as an individual committee member. I've asked a bunch of people so far, after looking at some of the numbers, could I ask each individual one, would you prefer bi-weekly or weekly service if the difference in the bag price was only $1 or $1.25?
Well, you should ask us collectively.
Okay,
And
ask
the
me.
reason being is because we don't wanna vote on it right now. I
Right.
think we just wanna discuss it right now.
Okay, so if there was that little a difference in the bag price, would you collectively think that you would like full service or bi-weekly? I mean,
I really don't know, I mean, we just got these, this afternoon, and so I haven't had, I've had more time to go over them than most, but, let's start with the girls and see what they've got to say. Sandy?
I like the bi-weekly. Looks like it's better for the town.
you like what?
The bi-weekly?
The bi-weekly, like every other,
Well,
okay.
it just
Both?
fiscally, it seems like it's, instead of in the red, it's in the black.
Well, you can make either one in the black, it's just gonna make the bag price more expensive.
I mean,
We can't have it both ways, yeah.
Right, then you're just gonna pay more, it's just a matter of whether you're willing to pay a little more to keep the service the way it is now. And some people don't mind paying a little more just because they don't want their trash hanging around for 2 weeks. From my personal.
especially in the summertime.
That's what I'm saying. From my personal opinion, dealing with this with a lot of people, there are some people that just wanna save a few bucks and they'll want every other, bi-weekly service. But the majority of people that I talk to, they like every week service, with the trash especially. They don't want that smelly stuff in the summer, and they don't want the animals, if they're gonna put it outside, cause they don't want the smell inside. They don't want the animals getting into it, that's just one concern.
Well, I'll tell you.
Those are the comments that I hear personally.
Well,
But that doesn't mean that that's what the town would like.
We were brought here and told that we had to change something immediately, and that's what we did. We went on what was recommended because, it was in the
Yeah, we
red,
definitely
big
went
time.
in the red,
And,
yes.
so we as fiduciary agents of the town felt that we had to do something, and that's why we did.
Right.
And it looks like even if we go bi-weekly, we're still gonna have to stay up there in price.
Yes,
But,
yes.
This is why we reacted fast. And I think that now, if we're gonna switch everything around, we really gotta get some information.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what, that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
I don't wanna jump into something and recommend something too quickly until I get a lot of feedback. Get your opinion of what, are you looking for a couple of options, recommendations from the
Well, I know
committee,
Triple
or-
T had said they were gonna bring to us some stuff.
Well, and it's part of the spreadsheet.
I'm sorry, so you can get your
Sure.
voice on
Yeah,
the.
sure. Hi, I'm
Recorder.
Peter Gaskell, General Manager of Triple T.
Hi,
And the
Peter.
spreadsheets are a direct result of our communications with the recycling committee. The only thing, and it might be stating the obvious, but in any business transaction, there's a sweet spot of finding where you're gonna get the most participants to take part in your program, to buy the bags, and also get the best bang for your buck for the revenue that you generate for the sale price. And I'll know that since the price did go up 3 weeks ago, there has been between a 20% and a 30% decline in participation and your
That's what I was
trash
afraid of.
collected. Okay, so that's just 3 weeks, mind you, it doesn't make a trend, it's an
Right.
observation at best, I guess.
Can I
But-
respond to that, though?
Sure.
Yeah, in a minute,
Okay,
please.
But I mean, anyway, so, I mean, we're your contractor, and we're just kind of stating,
Yes.
these are some facts and thoughts to consider that, to find that sweet spot is, and then, as a town, perhaps, decide how much you're willing to divvy in to offset, to get the service for the overall community.
It was our understanding also that we could not raise in taxes rubbish removal.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding in that.
Okay.
The community, the bag price needs to offset the collection of the rubbish and the disposal of the waste. Anything else beyond that can be paid for on the tax base.
Right, that's why, as I told you last time, what we as select board members did, we put in an article to raise the assessment. Because we were using that within our figures. And I didn't see why that was coming out of there, because the assessed value is the assessments always come from the solid waste district. It never was,
I think it was put in there because originally it was projected that the bag sales would cover all of that.
I
But
would
it
assume that was
obviously
probably
didn't.
why. It didn't, so,
And we needed to
yeah,
come to get.
thank you.
We needed to come to make sure there was going to be an article in to cover that,
And to
because
cover that,
nothing was
right.
put in last year and the fund was
Right,
going down,
going
so
down.
we
Right,
had to.
no, there was an
and We all
article,
had to address that, so
Yeah.
that part got taken care
Yeah.
of that way.
yeah. That was our main concern, was that we were told, close to $60,000 we were in the red, or would be, if we didn't do something drastically right away,
Right.
and that's why we did that. Go ahead, Sandy.
I see that as of July 1st, you start charging a tipping fee for recycling, right? That can be covered by taxes? Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
Yes.
just trash.
Just
It's
the
just
trash.
It's just the
Recycling.
trash, but recycling can.
Recycling,
Ooh.
compost, it is trash only that
It can't.
can't be covered by taxes.
Trash and the pickup of the trash.
Right, yeah, anything
Hauling
relating
and
to
the
trash
disposal.
can't.
Well,
Also-
I bet you that it would work if we raised money for that.
But the wording of the,
Article doesn't say that right now. I mean, we'd
Right,
have to
so-
do something different this year,
The
but,
only
I mean, for next year.
objection to that is that people that are clearly using the program and using it correctly are gonna get double dipped
Yes.
if you do it that way.
I know. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't, in
Right,
other
you're
words.
gonna
Yes.
have.
Yes, go ahead.
also, I've heard that a lot of people are using those containers. How many are in Vernon approximately?
Containers.
5,
The
6.
The bins?
roll-off bin.
Dumpsters.
Not the dumpsters down there, but the
The
personal
big
ones.
bins.
Oh,
No, the personal ones.
how many people are having dumpsters at their
Right,
residences?
right. Do you know approximately?
We're probably between 6 and a dozen.
Oh, really? Okay.
So my first question is, if you're kind of polling the board, are you asking me as a select person, or are you asking me as a resident what I would like?
As a select person.
Okay.
I'm just looking as being on the
can't
recycling
get it.
committee, what the select board is looking, how you want us to approach it, and
I think what I'm trying to say is we can't make that decision right now, we
Okay.
really haven't looked at it. I don't think we can, I mean,
Well-
unless the board's ready, I mean, it's up to the
I'm
board.
not asking you to make a decision, I'm just trying to have some direction so that when we meet again.
I think we're gonna have something
Well-
different than what we got.
So, I was at the last recycling committee meeting, and then Bob and Heather and I met, which is what prompted the production of all these spreadsheets. And, when I met with them, what I suggested was that we, I put together the spreadsheets and that we bring them to the select board for their review. Since the reason that we bumped up having the recycling committee here today instead of after town meeting was, personally, I felt like so many people use this program in Vernon. It's such a highly utilized, one of the services that the town provides is that I kind of thought that maybe we should bring it to town meeting and let the townspeople decide. That was my feeling. So the intent for coming tonight, for having you guys come tonight and provide all this information was that if the select board chose to, we could present at town meeting some options, whether it's all 5 of them or 3 or 4 or whatever, and have the townspeople vote on it.
Well,
And I don't know,
It's not warned.
I think, yeah, it's
I think
not
that's gonna
warned.
be overwhelming
Yeah, it's
for
not warned to
people
do
to look
something.
at all those options, do you not agree? I mean.
Yeah,
well, and that's why I said, if you make it 3 or whatever, but there's been so many complaints about it.
we're gonna have a, I suppose when that article comes up, we can explain some at that time, and being that you're,
But it doesn't really pertain
No,
to
it
pay as
doesn't.
you throw.
Well, it
No.
does and it doesn't, because
No, it's
maybe at the end, when where it says you
Any
can
other
bring up
business.
something else,
Well-
before said meeting, then we
so
could.
some of the options, would the board be opposed to me kind of verbally going through some of these? And just kind of explaining what they are a little bit? I
at
don't-
town meeting?
No, right now.
No, right now, it's fine with me,
I think you should go.
I don't have a problem, do you? No.
Okay, so Chris printed off a little bit more than you needed to. The first one was
Sorry.
the every week both, the third page, which it has weekly collection. So that's for current services right now. That's every week trash and recycling pickup. And you're mostly looking at the numbers on the right, the third column, third block of information.
Is what we need for this coming year, right?
Right, so what we're trying to find the sweet spot, one of the bags to cover whichever type of program, what the bag cost would be to cover that service. Now, because of the jump in, bag prices, and the reduction, so there is that column that says reduction. I added in there like a 15% reduction, that's in participation, not trash production. That's to account for people who wanna get dumpsters on their own or wanna hire a private hauler or whatever.
And he said about 20% so far, so.
Right, so that number, can skew all of these numbers, but, in order to make the program as it is currently, not including the assessment, that was taken out, we already agreed we were gonna take that out, that
Right.
pay-as-you-throw shouldn't cover that.
Right.
So if we were to keep services the way we're at, assuming the 15% reduction in participation, we didn't even raise the bag prices enough. They would need to go a quarter each more. So, and then if you flip to the next one of the options, that was brought to the recycling committee was, every other week recycling and trash. So they would alternate, 1 week would be trash, 1 week would be recycling. Same assumptions, everything, and I figured what the bag price would be in order to make that sustain itself. The next sheet is every week trash and every other week recycling. So, the price even,
That kinda was the same what you meant here, right?
no, the bi-weekly one is
No,
both are done
bi-weekly,
bi-weekly.
both
So
of
this
them.
is every week trash, every other week recycling.
I see.
And then I threw in there, cause I was under the impression, before talking with Triple T and kinda getting clarification, I too was under the impression that taxes couldn't fund any of this. But when I realized that it could, I thought, well, there are probably people in this town who are not buying trash bags, but they're having their recycling picked up. So that kinda gets into the whole double dip situation. I said, well, what about having recycling and compost covered by taxes? And then the pay as you throw really just be for the pay as you throw, just for trash. So I threw that scenario in there, so that's,
So it's essentially, you mentioned about if nobody buys any green bags, but they recycle, that's at a loss to the town or at a loss to, I was under the impression that the recyclable materials pays for itself.
No, it doesn't.
no. So
But-
the way the program is set up right now is that the sale of the trash bags, it covers the trash and the recycling and the
So
compost.
that's the idea of charging, like an annual fee?
We talked
For
about a
recycling.
sticker,
Yeah, that was-
remember when we
Yeah.
came back, we said the other option in order to capture the people who only wanna put out recycling, we could do a $25 annual sticker, so that's also an option you could do with one of these other things if you didn't wanna do the tax part to capture that.
Yeah. But the whole idea is that the people who are putting out the trash bags are supposed to be paying for the whole program.
Yeah.
But we know, I know
Yeah.
there's a number of people who they're putting their recycling out, but they're not buying trash bags, which means that they're not helping to fund the program.
Well, I think any
So-
service that's a matter of convenience, the user has to pay for it. It has to be self-sustaining.
Right.
I really am adamantly opposed to using taxpayers' money to subsidize a program. Essentially, that's what it would end up being, and to use fancy language and say, well, yeah, we can't use taxes to pay for this, but we can use taxes to pay for this.
Yeah,
I don't agree with doing it that way.
Yeah, I think it should be self-supporting the whole way.
I do
Great.
too,
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
So, and then the last sheet is along the same lines with, the trash bags only covering the trash, but, going to the bi-weekly of both. So, those are some options that we put together.
I kinda like the,
So, I don't know what the board wants to do. If people can't vote on it,
We could always send out a questionnaire maybe.
Well, I was thinking,
we can do a
If we could meet
questionnaire
again-
at town meeting too, but
if we could meet one more time as a committee, so we would have more time
Absolutely.
to go over this,
we just
Then-
need something to explain
Then
to
we
the
would have a
people.
questionnaire, come up with the options that we thought were the best to go forward with, and then maybe have the town print out a sheet, and then as people came in to buy bags, or even, do some kind of, use
That's what you
Facebook or
could do.
whatever,
Yeah.
say, come and get your input, cause not everybody buys bags every week, or even maybe every month, but say, get your input if you're interested in getting your input into the new trash program, and come and fill out the questionnaire, it's available at the town clerk, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that sounds
And
great.
have a checklist and have them choose which option they like, and there you get your voters, the townspeople to vote which option they like, and that way we wouldn't be so rushed to get it in for.
Yeah, no, I
town
thoroughly
meeting.
agree, this was.
The only reason for getting in for town meeting though is if you were gonna go the route of trying to get in some of it for taxes.
Yeah,
I personally have had
Be able to-
no complaints still, and I've talked to people, I've been in the
Yeah, I have
town
had no
clerk's
one
office
call
when people come to buy
Me
bags,
and,
yeah.
they say
Yeah,
that
I
the price has
haven't,
gone up,
my
and
daughter,
people buy 'em
who,
and
rents part of my house, she's gone to Triple T paying, monthly fee to Triple T. I still use the, paper throw.
I had 4 calls as a hauler, that's it. I had many, many more calls prior to the town switching over to the pay-as-you-throw program than I did when the bags went up.
So, yeah, I personally like the, every week trash, every other week recycle, because that keeps it, at about $5, I mean, it's only a quarter less, either way, but I'm in agreement with Jeff, if it can't be self-sustaining, then we're not gonna go and ask the people.
I mean, cause you're really not
Continue to
making it
pay.
less expensive, all you're doing is shifting the cost over to
That's
people's
exactly
houses.
right.
You're not really reducing the expense, you're just.
Right.
And as far as I wanted to ask Peter, did you compare the reduction in the volume to last year at the same week or same time frame? Cause I know, as being in the business for almost 40 years, after the first week in January to the first week in April, our volume goes down right around 20% every year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do a seasonal adjustment, I just essentially took the tonnage from last year and came up
And
with
took
an
the
average, and then just
So
what
there
we've been-
is some adjustment for that. I don't know why, if it's just this area, but I know for us, we always have our tipping fee always goes down from after the first week in January when everybody gets rid of their Christmas stuff. I don't know if everybody's broke from Christmas or what, but until they get their tax money back, but until about the first week of April, we always have about a 20%, pretty close to 20% reduction in the volume that we have. So,
You'll have
I
to
could-
come up, I'm so sorry, but you have to, because I gotta have you on tape. Thank you.
Just want to know that recycling was said that it was free. Triple T's paying $25 a ton to get rid of it. Plus, we truck it all the way to Rutland to get done. So I wanted to make that clear. And the other thing that's gonna throw your program off a little bit, that if we have more people or more tonnage keeps coming on for recycling, which is what we're all trying to drive forward, keep people recycling, there's more tonnage coming on, somebody's gonna have to be paying for that. And that's one reason why we adjusted all of our numbers, because when we gave you every week recycling, we actually took that money out of the trash money, and it never showed in the last breakdown. We had it all broken down at the last meeting she wasn't at, had it all broke down so you could see recycling, trash, and what everything was. So that's where these numbers actually came from. And she worked very hard at it, by the way. And so how it turns out is however it turns out, and I'm fine with that. Just wanted to be clear that it's, recycling is probably half of the trash rate. So there is a savings from what the town was paying, but the more people that use it and don't support it on the green bag side, hurts the program,
Yeah.
pretty
So
much.
what's the financial incentive for anybody to recycle?
A 50%
Like,
deduction
is a reduction, I mean, it is,
on your trash tonnage.
So like,
You save every ton that you recycle is half the rate of what your trash rate would be if you dump it our place.
Yeah.
So there is definitely an incentive there. Although it costs to get it picked up too.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say,
you're-
cost to pick it up.
Yep, you got the cost to pick it up, so we sometimes as a hauler question whether we should be just throwing it away because the numbers are pretty close. So you're
Yeah.
right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
so it's $100
$100
per ton
for trash
for
and
trash
55
and
for the-
55 for recycling. And that's
for disposal.
Oh,
new to us, July 1st,
Yeah.
this year, that we're gonna be charged the tipping fee, because they were great and,
Yes, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I just wondered, does anybody have any feeling for, were most of the people that were upset, were they families?
I would assume so, I would assume
I
that
would
the people
assume that
who
they
are
were.
buying the most trash bags, who have the most trash output, would be households that have large numbers of
But on
people
the
in
other
them,
hand,
so.
I've talked to some people that have two people and maybe two teenagers, and they're still only using like a bag every other week or something, and they are recycling, so I just don't know.
I'm
I
recycling
think-
too,
I
and I
think-
live by myself, but,
I
you
think
know,
part
I
of
go
it's
a bag
education
or
too.
two.
I think people, because we only charge for the trash bags, they're thinking that that's only covering the trash. You know, I think people don't realize that recycling isn't free.
Right.
The town is still
That
paying for the recycling, but we pay for it with the trash bags. So if we don't sell the trash bags, then we can't, you know, it's hard to pay for the recycling.
Exactly.
So I think part of it's just
I
education.
get it in my head that, you know, you can get 5 cents back per can,
Yeah.
so
Why are you
there must be
throwing
some
away?
value to all the other stuff,
You
too.
paid 5 cents to
Yeah,
buy
that it's a
the can.
deposit.
Exactly.
Get somebody else to buy this,
Well,
so
yeah.
they'll get their empty can.
Yes. That's what I'm gonna be doing. If you see me on the side of the road, that's what I'm doing, picking up those cans.
Gotta pay my taxes somehow.
And just to throw it out there, it came up when I was talking to Bob, was that we don't pay a tipping fee for the large bins that are the Wyndham Solid Waste Management, whatever that long acronym
Not
is
yet.
for. Not yet, right.
Did he tell you what's in the works?
No, I don't think so.
And maybe this is premature, but there is a committee that I'm
Oh,
on too.
Because of Brattleboro and
Because of
their
Brattleboro,
itemized,
yes.
they want the,
So they want the fee for,
yeah.
so that could change. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a little premature to say, but,
Right.
so that you don't know what's gonna happen with those.
And it's not,
Sorry,
The
Peter.
recycling bins aren't necessarily free, you're paying an assessment every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
And we get
But-
nothing else for that assessment payment that we pay, so.
But we're not, but
But
for
but you're
next
already paying
year,
for them regardless of whether.
Right.
Right.
Right, so
Yeah.
it,
so if we, I mean, in my head, I go, if we put more recycling in the bins, at least for 16-17, they haven't included a tipping fee in their assessment. We have a
Right.
flat fee, you know,
Right,
an
it's
annual
already
contract.
all-inclusive,
So the
yes.
more we put in the bins, the less tipping fee we have. You know, I mean, it's a minuscule amount, but if we're not paying a tipping fee for the bins and we're gonna be paying a tipping fee for curbside, put it in the bins and we incur less tipping fees as a town, so.
I know,
Just an
but they're
idea.
still gonna come around to the households to pick them up. I mean, we're still paying
Right.
for the.
Paying for the
Oh, yeah.
convenience.
Right, you pay for the
Yeah.
curbside convenience.
They want the convenience.
All right, well, I say we should probably move on. I think that, we're gonna have to look at this, and I think you're correct. I think you need to meet, work
Yeah, I
this
don't wanna
out, and,
go
and then
too
come back to the
quickly and-
board as planned, probably what, second week in March?
Come back that
Or
March
do you wanna go, as
21st?
far out as April? 1st of April?
I think,
Just a minute, please.
whoops. Did you
Go
have-
ahead, Cheryl.
The March 21st, I mean, do you think that's how much?
That's when we were going to,
That's
yes.
what we were going to,
That's
so.
what we were going to because
That's fine
of the
with
new
you?
board
Okay.
coming in and everything.
And because we don't have a
Yeah.
specific,
Maybe.
contract with
Don't
Triple
forget.
T, it's not like we have to change on a certain date. It's not like we're looking at it July 1st that we have to be ready or.
No,
So,
and it's not really a rush after town meeting because
because then
we
we're not-
can't, there's nothing we can do right now anyway. Nothing was
Right.
warned to,
Right.
it's not in our budget, it's not, there's not an article for this. So there's nothing we can do about it right now anyway. So if you wanna come back in April,
So maybe
That's
April would be
fine.
better,
I
I think.
think March
Or
would
you
be
think
fine.
March
It
is
shouldn't-
okay?
I'm fine with March, but
Okay.
you're the.
all right,
All right, why
so
don't we keep it at the March 21st, if something
I'll say,
extreme
okay, so.
happens, we'll change that, but we'll leave
All
it
right,
at
for
the March.
future agenda items, would be, March 21st for recycling. And Triple T, yay or nay?
March 21st. Sounds nice.
Does
Hopefully
sound like
it'll
a
be-
nice date,
hopefully
doesn't
it'll
it?
be warmer by then.
I hope it is too. Alright,
Hopefully no one's sick and no one's on vacation.
yeah.
Yeah. And please make sure I'm included in the emails if anybody sends any. I didn't get these figures until kind of left off the email list, so.
She emailed me Friday afternoon, and then I realized, oh my gosh, Peggy hadn't gotten
I'm waiting
what
for
I
that.
I'm
so it
always
was
left
all-
off too, I don't know
So it was all
what it is.
disconnected, that's why I was like, I'm just not ready to do
Yeah,
anything on Monday, it's just, we
Yeah.
haven't all met, so
Yeah.
it's not a good thing to go for
Not a
like
problem.
this, so.
so thank you very, very much. Thank you, Triple D, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you.
I don't know how you can do that.
I don't know how I can either, Ron, I don't.
You're forgiven.
Thank you, I wasn't asking for forgiveness, but
You said
thank
you
you.
apologized.
Oh,
You
did
said,
I?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm hoping you can find a solution where I use the facility, I use the bags, I love it, I love the whole thing. It bothers me that, there are people who just recycle, which means it's on my nickel that pays for that. I hope we can find a way to solve that, cause, I understand if people wanted to do their own private dumpster and regular trash pickup, that's their prerogative, it just doesn't feel right. But, and I'm kind of, a friend of mine who isn't here, he's a young guy, he uses a debit card all the time, would love to find a way to pay for the trash bags with a debit card. That's it, I can't speak for him, he has to speak for himself.
guess
That
would be a
that would
town
have to
thing.
be the town clerk's office, town
Or the
treasurer's
Guilford-
office,
or-
the
yeah, I know,
library, and.
I know, or the Guilford store.
Guilford
Or the
store
Guilford,
must take
Guilford
it.
store probably
They must
has.
take a debit card,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
sure.
can't, he tried it.
Oh, really?
But he
They would
only,
be
I'm like, okay, it's not my way of doing it, but that's his, that was it.
Okay, well, thank
Probably
you.
because they
They wanna
lose.
keep this, well, they wanna
Right.
keep it separate.
Keep it
Because
separate.
if they
Yep.
use a credit card or
Then
debit card, they
have
incur
to
a
pay
fee,
the
yeah.
fees,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very, very
Okay.
much.
All
Very
right,
much.
thanks.
Thank you guys also for coming. Good night. Let's go to the minutes. White flag out there. Go ahead.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I have a correction.
Okay, good.
Oops.
Which one?
It's just a grammatical thing. On page 2, under the scanning of town records, the very last sentence, bother other towns are very happy. I think it's supposed to be both,
Both, right.
but
Yep.
that's all I had.
Okay, do we have a second to, and a friendly amendment to your motion would be, the
As
minutes
corrected.
as corrected.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to, accept the minutes as corrected of, February 1st. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Yep.
I think we should highlight that in bold.
Are you two up to something over there?
All the time.
I know. We have to
You
keep
just-
one eye on you all the time.
Point out, I was 2 minutes late. It's the last one.
I
Uh-oh.
think I was
So I-
7.
She was 5.
I was gonna
No,
add that as,
7.
as a correction to highlight those in bold, but
Okay.
we'll let it go this time.
We can't vote for the first few minutes.
Yeah. No, you can because it was open comment.
Do those have 3 signatures on it?
Yes, they do.
All set with them?
One of them's got 5.
Wow, we're doing good.
Yeah, the only signatures that missing from the other 2 are mine. All right, make a are we on to bills warrants?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve and pay the following warrants. 15-16.15, accounts payable, $34,866.71. 5S payroll, $8,334.16. 6S payroll, $9,439.32.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pay warrants 15-16.15, accounts payable for $34,866.71. 5S payroll, $8,334.16. 6S payroll, $9,439.32. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, assignment of articles. Now, what that means, everybody who's never been through town meeting before with these things, if you take on a, thing, you're gonna be, the one that, makes the motion. And then if there's any question on that, you'll take the questions. I mean, then of course, everybody else will be able to do that as well, but, so study it up on them. So you can talk to your motion.
Okay, I figure there's, what, about 22 that we are responsible for?
Yeah, probably
Which,
without.
you divide that by 5, it comes out to about 4 point something per person.
Okay, good.
So I volunteer to take 5 of them.
Okay, so let's go through and see which ones you wanna take.
Can I do 18 through 22?
8 through
18 through 22.
18 through 22, why can't you? And we'll just put Jeff right there.
Okay, my part's done.
See, this is what
He's
happens
such a
when you
love.
come to the meeting on time.
I'm gonna miss that guy.
See you at the town meeting.
Yeah. All right, the library does theirs, so they will do theirs.
I can tell you who they are.
It doesn't matter. But thank you.
I would do 23 through 27.
All right, take us right through, all right? I'll do Sandy. Being that,
Can't do 28.
Look at the moderator does that.
Oh, okay.
all right, with the school board. All right, so, we have Article 4, which is our general, our select board budget, which becomes town budget when we get there. I don't mind doing
I
that
think
if
you
you
should do that.
Generally, the chair kind of does that on the sheet.
Well, I've done it most every year.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Twice?
That's fine.
What's that one?
I'll
Is
do
that
it.
3?
Oh, you keep doing it.
All right, what
Four.
Sandy's going to do is she's going to put them in a binder for us.
I put them
And,
like this.
yeah,
So it has the right verbiage and everything.
yeah, and,
Big script.
yeah, she'll do a little bit of a script for you, it'll have your name on it and
And your
color.
part will be highlighted.
Highlighted, yeah. Can you don't need to put them in a folder that,
Just staple it like this?
yeah, I think stapling like that's much better.
Okay.
Because when you put it in something like this, then it's like stuck here, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, thanks. And let's see, 1, 2, capital plan, 1, 2, 3. I can do all the capital plan with that if you want, and then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops.
So,
No, I tell you what, I'll do the number 4. And how about 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Article 13, 8 through Article 8 through 13, Josh, or,
I'll do that one.
you'll do them?
Yep.
8
Okay.
through 13 is Josh?
8,
Yes,
yep.
ma'am.
And then 14 through 17, Emily?
Which 14 through?
17, which is the James Cusick, the solid waste.
Yeah, sure.
And you may be asked about that, that's why I almost put you first, but then I thought Josh first and then you, just in case they ask you, even though it doesn't have to do with it, they may ask you.
But what are
So
you,
you're
what are you
only
asking
getting
me about
one?
what? What are you talking about?
I'm only getting one. On the solid waste, the assessment,
Oh,
you may get a question.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have elderly assistant and the reappraisal fund. And Carol's will be right there in case you need a help with that.
Wait a minute, I got 6.
Well, because we're,
You gotta watch it every second.
Huh?
Then you have to watch it every second.
I know, but know that you get David to talk,
You just barely counted how many you volunteered for.
I know,
Yeah, I just found out I got
You got 5.
railroaded into 6.
oh, 5,
That's
6.
fine.
And you're
I don't care.
surprised?
No, he doesn't
I
care.
don't care.
That's what happens to a new guy. Gets a
Um,
new guy sleeping.
Right, I'm not going there, I almost said something.
I'll take 13 if you want.
You know what happens when you say something.
I know, always. You can get the people that, are relatives, so to speak, to these motions or these articles to help you and give you your explanations too, right?
Yes.
You all set? Any questions about that? It's really kind of a simple thing. What'll happen is, the moderator will read the motion, then you will say it. He will have a copy, because Sandy will give him a copy as well of what we're doing. And also one for Katrina,
Yes.
because she's gonna sit beside me, we're gonna have a little bit different this year.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll say, you know, do I hear a motion? That's when your cue, are you listening?
Yes.
That's when your cue will come in. I'm talking to her, not you guys. You guys are listening.
I was writing stuff down. What? I've been to a town meeting before.
I know, he's gonna read it off,
Yeah.
then he'll ask for the motion. You'll say your motion.
Yes.
And then,
And then he'll say any
Mr.
discussion.
Moderator?
yep,
Yes. Apparently that's how you get his attention.
that's how you get, or hey, you over there.
You know,
Or you say, call the recess, because you don't know what the right words are.
Adjourn.
I won't do that.
He won't let you anyway.
we might want to ask him to be up on the stage with us so he sees us.
Well, what I'm
That
going to
was-
do is I'm gonna have, kind of, it's gonna be like, sorta like this, so that we're all together, like in this formation, kind of, so there'll be 3 tables, one this way, and this way. I would like him up above us up to us as well, only
Right.
because, you know, he has to crank his neck back.
Right.
And, I'm not sure because I'm kind of tomorrow I'm gonna work with Brana about cause I'm moderating the, candidate night. So maybe by that I'll get, an idea of how, I'd like to have it set up for, town meeting. Yes, go.
Are we doing the PowerPoint?
Yes, and we're
Oh.
gonna start it when I come up with number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was, I forget, I'm trying to remember, the screen comes down on the
Right.
stage.
Right.
So did you guys like rearrange the tables or something? when the
Yeah,
screen
no, we're
was
not gonna be down there.
No, we were up on the stage.
Right,
You
I'll
guys were
just
up on the
stand off to
stage,
the
but-
side, you guys can be there, but I'll be off to the side or down there, you guys will be off, the screen will be here,
I
you
mean, it's
guys will
mostly
be
just for
here,
the budget,
here.
right?
Right, that's
Yeah,
all.
So.
Um, part of the presentation for that is, I'll go through it, but, the rec will do his, Seth always does his. The sheriff will do his part of it, and
Fire
actually,
department?
and the
Fire
fire department, well, he won't explain much, cause we didn't really hit on them too big with the PowerPoint.
Well,
Because he didn't change that much, but, he will be there and he knows he has to answer these questions if they are brought up for his part, yep.
would it be prudent to ask all of the department heads to, well,
They have that.
if they choose to, well, Seth hadn't. As of last Monday, Seth hadn't heard anything about a PowerPoint. So, I mean, he's prepared, he has stuff,
Okay.
but I'm wondering if,
Because Martin and I, were going to, get he was supposed to get a hold of him and he had emailed him, I don't know if he's talked to him
well,
since.
maybe he had, but, I mean, you know, so the rec has always done one.
Right,
Yeah. The fire department hasn't done one in the past. Just because they haven't changed much this year doesn't mean that they're not
no,
gonna come under.
I don't mean that they're gonna be there to speak on their budget, on their department, absolutely.
Well, but I guess what I'm saying is, do you think it would be prudent to ask department heads, all of them, to be equal and fair, to say, is there any, or do you have any slides that you would like to present in support of your budget?
Yeah, that's a good idea, I can do that.
Because, I mean, we know that the rec has been brought up before and Seth has always been prepared, but, you know, it may not just be limited to the rec. You know, as people are getting more and more concerned about their taxes, you know, more and more departments may come under scrutiny. So, I mean, if they choose not to present a slide, then they choose not to present a slide.
No,
But
the
I-
whole budget's on the slide, I've seen the budget, I mean, I've seen the slides.
But I think each department head should have the opportunity to provide their own version of justification if
No, I agree.
they want. I mean, if we've
We can-
provided opportunity to
tell them
some
they have
depart- No, I don't think that they have to, but I think we should provide them the opportunity to generate that if they would like it.
I think we'll find that the majority of them don't, but I do agree that putting it out there and saying, hey, do you wanna add anything additional?
Yep.
I would venture to guess that not all of them are,
Right.
fluent with PowerPoint, but we could
Yeah. Well, and they
maybe
can,
have Katrina
Well-
help them if they can send Katrina a Word document and she could,
right, exactly.
you know, make it into
Yeah.
a presentable slide.
Well,
that's
I'm
follow,
working with Martin on that,
so.
so I'm not gonna bring another
Oh, that's fine.
party in
Then
here,
we'll send
what
it
we
all to
don't
you.
need is cross.
But I just think they should all
referencing here.
be given the opportunity to, if, you know, to prepare one if they choose to.
All right, I'll give them a call, that's a good idea, I'll give them a call, be sure that, and I'll show them or let them know what I've got, what Martin's got, I shouldn't take any credit whatsoever, what Martin's got so far, and,
I mean, well, yeah, I think that's probably sufficient. I mean, I think, like, the Cusick Scholarship has come up in the past, the elderly assistance has come up in the past. I mean, I don't know that we need to reach out to all of the,
oh no, the
Committee
committees will be
heads,
there, they're always all there to answer any questions
I'm
on
talking
their
about the
article.
PowerPoint.
Articles won't be a part of PowerPoint,
Okay,
it's just the town's budget.
okay. I'm just,
The capital plan, people, the finance committee, I think are expecting, didn't they say at one point they were?
Well, they may be working with, Martin, but I'm not,
Right.
I'm
Okay.
select board, I'm working with just the select board budget. And they may be, and that would be a great thing, because they every year always stand up there and give a presentation on what, you
I
know.
think they,
Yeah,
Linda
Sheldon
said
did.
something about somebody's gotta do it, because she can't, but I think they're expecting to do it, I think.
Okay, all right, I'll ask Linda too, see. She's the chair, right?
Yes.
So I'll ask her. All right, for capital plan. Okay. Anything else? I have no correspondence. Is there any public participation on agenda items only? Our one public participationer? No?
I lost my group. Madam Chair.
That either could be, speak well for us, or bad, I'm not sure which I would take
It's the
that.
weather and the vacation. No, actually, it's the weather, I bet.
It could be too. Yes, go Sandy.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Was that fast enough for you, Carol?